If your sales calls feel scattered, if prospects keep saying they're interested but then disappear, or if you finish calls without a clear next step, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to create 2 things that can instantly make your service sales process stronger. First, we'll create a discovery call question flow that helps you lead the conversation with confidence. And second, a post-call recap email that unlocks in next steps so the prospects are less likely to stall. By the end of this video, you'll have a repeatable structure you can use to uncover budget, timeline, decision making, and urgency without sounding robotic or pushy. And make sure you stay until the end, because I'm also going to show you how to turn this into a reusable system for different offers and different audiences. Hi everyone, welcome back to AI Prompt Boss. A lot of people are getting on discovery calls and hoping the conversation somehow naturally leads to a sale. But as we all know, hope is not a process. What usually happens is people ask a few surface level questions, they overtalk the conversation, they forget to ask their customer about their timeline, and they avoid budget, and they never fully identify who the decision maker is. Then at the end of the call, they say something vague like, "I'll send something over," and the prospect goes cold. That's exactly where a strong call structure can help. In this video, we'll look at the discovery call question flow, and secondly, the call summary email, also known as the next steps lock. These are especially useful if you sell services, consulting, recruiting, real estate support, marketing services, coaching, done-for-you systems, or any offer where a call is part of the sales process. Let's now look at the prompts. Here's our first prompt. Okay, so in this one, our use cases, we're going to create a sales call structure to help us flow more readily with this process. And our issue that we're solving is that calls often don't uncover budget and timelines. So we want to make sure we have those things baked into our calls. And this is for anyone that sells services. And you can make this even more effective by adding a price range and deal breakers into this scripting. So here, our large language model, ChatGPT, is serving as a sales enablement manager for consultative services. We need to create a discovery call for the offer we're selling to our specific audience. And we'll get an agenda, a question bank, red flags, and the questions to ask next, and a clean closing script that locks in our next steps. This needs to sound very clear, very confident, and it definitely needs to sound human, not robotic. So what we're going to do here, since I work with different businesses, there are different things that are saved into the memory here. So I'm going to give this some context here. If on your own personal large language model, you may or may not need to do this, because if it's been saving your chats, it probably already has your context in. I'm going to say I'm a financial consultant working from the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. Okay, and then I'm going to say my offer 1-hour finance reset workbook. My audience, new retirees. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter here. Okay, so here's a discovery call flow we can use to sell our 1-hour finance reset workbook to new retirees in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. So it gives us a warm opening here and talk about what changed and what prompted them to take your call. Talk about their current financial picture, their goals and priorities, some of the different decisions and goals, and then you recommend the product and close and do next steps. So here is that was like an outline, an agenda for your actual scripting. And here's the actual script, how to open it by thanking them for meeting with you. That's always a great way to start a call. And then here's the part about the goals. It's actually literally giving you the questions. You don't have to come up with this script. It's giving you the questions to ask on this script. Talk about your current situation and the urgency here and the decision making process, their budget, which is always critical. And then, of course, here's the follow up. And it gives you different, this is almost like an objection handling piece, because it talks about, hey, if they say, hey, I want a financial advice, not a workbook, now this is the way to respond. So you can say, it sounds like you may be looking for a more personalized planning relationship. Are you looking mainly for a tool to organize your thinking? Or are you wanting one-on-one advice and recommendations? When they answer this question, you flow here. If they're overwhelmed, they have verbiage for that. And if they don't see the urgency, if they already have their own advisor, they have already built these different scenarios in for you. And then you'll transition into your offer. There's an offer script and a closing script that helps you. At this time, if you're getting any value from this, if you have not done so already, make sure to like and subscribe so that I can continue to make this type of content. Okay, so let's try this with a different kind of audience. Let's say we're a business consultant, and I'm going to ask it to change the context since we're still in the same conversation, and make the offer a done for you lead follow-up system. This time we're going to give it what it suggested us to do earlier in the prompt, and we didn't do it the first time, but this time we'll go ahead and give it the background where we give it a price point for our services, and then give it our deal breakers also there, and that will help it make an even better system. So we're going to say a done for you lead follow-up system priced at $1,500 to $4,000. Our audience are small business owners who are losing leads because follow-up is inconsistent. We are business consultants here. So also, to provide more context, we're letting the system know that our deal breakers are going to be no urgency, unclear ownership, low lead volume, and unrealistic expectations about the speed of the results. And we're using, of course, the same prompt again, and we're going to go ahead and pop this in here and see what changes with the change in context. Okay, and here we have an even better script, and stay tuned because in a minute, I'm going to show you the part most people skip, the closing language that prevents the I'll think about it and get back to you that people normally say, that normally leads to a dead end. So here we see that it's given us this, the agenda again as before. Okay, and then it's giving us all of our different sections, the urgency section, the decision-making process, their budget. And then because we have given it more detailed information, it's letting us know, hey, does this range feel realistic? We're letting the customer know up front the type of budget they're going to possibly need for our services, so they won't feel that you're not being deceptive about the price or being vague about the price. And so here's some success metrics. You want to have them define what works, what's a success for them, what kind of outcomes are best for them. We have already let the system know what the red flags would be for us. And so that helped make these more specific than our first set were, because now instead of the system guessing the issues that we think, some of the objections we expect, we specifically told it. So if they don't have urgency, so this is what you do. Ask them and mention this to them. Say that's understood. If this has been happening for a while, what makes it worth discussing today? So basically, hey, we understand there's no urgency, but also coming back to the fact of, hey, you decided to take this call today, so something is going on. And so I just want to make sure this is a real priority and not something that keeps getting pushed down the list. And of course, if you think that's a little bit, if this is too direct, this last sentence, you can come back and say, hey, make this a little softer, not so direct. For your tailored to your own style. The more you talk to the large language models like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, the more you talk to them, the more it will learn your voice, the way you discuss things with customers. Are you bold? Are you more, indirect with the things that you say? Are you more warm? Are you kind of comedic? It will over time determine that. Okay. If there's no clear ownership, here's what you would ask them: who will actually be responsible for using, monitoring, or supporting this once it's in place? So that's some of the things you would use. So we specifically gave it our objection handling to help it form this. And here's the offer positioning and our closing steps. Notice that it gives us guidance telling us, don't rush anything, tie your offer back into things that are basically ultimately quantifiable, things like lost revenue, wasted lead spend, money lost in operations needs to be quantifiable, and it will also turn this into a word for word script. So when you're in the system, you can go ahead and prompt it and say, yes, please. A lot of times I'll just literally, copy this and paste it down here and say, yes, please turn this into a word for word script. Or it says a one-page discovery call checklist. Also, you could have it do both. I would put number 1 for the word-to-word call script, and then number 2 for the checklist, and let it sort those out. And you will have those both. You can download them usually as you can tell it to give it to you as a PDF and or Microsoft Word document for use. So now let's look at our second prompt. This is the prompt that helps you to follow up after the call in a way that's going to reinforce momentum. This one is going to be a problem solver if you have prospects that start but they stall and there's unclear next action. This works for all niche audiences, and if you want to make this prompt even more effective for you, you will add a decision date and then 2 options to the prompt. We're going to be allowing the large language model to serve as a deal desk specialist. We needed to write a post-call recap email that includes the prospective customer's goals, their key problems, their recommended plan, their timeline, their investment range, and the next steps, and include 2 options: approved proposal or a 10-minute questions call. You want to keep it calm, direct, and professional. So we'll hit enter here. Okay, great. It took it literally 12 seconds to do this. And so here's our subject line. I would probably make this even a little bit more specific. I would probably have the offer name here, or you can ask ChatGPT or your other LLM to make it the subject line more specific for you. You literally can copy here in the upper right hand corner, or open your email client and it will open the email there. So you can literally also attach a spreadsheet of names. Let's say you talk to 20 people, so you don't have to keep copying and pasting this. Let the system do this. You can actually say, these are the first names, and then load it. But looking at this, it says, thank you for the conversation, which is always great to open with a thank you. Based on your call, you say their main goals back to them. And then here are the key issues we discussed. Here's the recommendation for the next steps. And then here's a more specific plan with a timeline, and here's the price range. So this kind of lays everything out on the table. And again, the reason this 2-option format works so well is because it removes ambiguity without creating pressure. You're not forcing a yes, you're simply reducing the number of paths. In this second prompt, we've got 2 steps and 2 options available where they are allowed to, option A is to approve the proposal, or option B is to take a short call to ask final questions. So if they have more questions, then at that point they can come back and ask you those questions, and that may be a second call. Yes, it may take some time up, but if this increases your booking rates and your actual revenue by 30% or more, it's going to be worth it to take a 10-minute call to have those increases in revenue. And this is better than giving them no direction at all. Now stay with me, because the real power here is not just in using these prompts once, but in turning them into a mini sales system you can reuse for every offer that you sell. So here's how I would use these prompts in a practical business workflow. Step 1, I would create a version of prompt 5A for each offer, for each core offer that you sell. Step 2, I would save the best output in a document or your customer relationship manager software like a HubSpot or whatever software that you use, so you're not starting from scratch every time. Step 3, I would create a matching part for the second prompt, a template for each of my offers. So your follow-up email is going to be fast and consistent. And my final step, step 4, would be to adjust the language slightly based on the prospect type, deal size, and the industry. So instead of winging it on every sales call, you have a framework. This is especially useful if you sell multiple services because it helps you maintain quality across different offer types. If you want more prompts like this, you can get these free prompts by joining my free school group. That's where I share practical copy and paste resources designed to help service businesses save time and communicate more effectively. I also have other resources you may want to check out: the Business Growth Blueprint and my free thumbnail generator. And we also have our fast follow-up framework for our real estate agents. So if you're working on your sales process, your marketing, your content, or your overall business systems, these can help you move faster too. And everything's linked in the description. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.